おはようございます。今日も朝のフーディニ作業配信をやっていきたいと思います。今日も昨日に引き続き、またちょっとベラムについての簡単なチュートリアルをやっていこうと思ってます。はい、では動画を流します。
Hi everyone, I have seen a lot of this type of animation on social media with wires and tangled animation, so I have decided to make a simple and fast tutorial to explain one way to achieve this animation with Vellum. Before we start, I want to talk to you about our tutorials webpage and our Patreon. On Doxia's tutorial webpage, you can see every tutorial we have made so far in Houdini. We want to keep everything clean and organized for new artists that want to start learning Houdini. In order to keep doing these tutorials for the community, we need your help and support. With Patreon, you are able to support us and get awesome rewards like project files and merchandise. It is really easy to start supporting us, and you can cancel your pledge anytime. Don't wait any longer and check out our tutorials webpage and our Patreon. Hope to see you there. So let's start our tutorial. Okay, so
では、フーディニに切り替えていきます。前回からデスクトップを動画用に多少カスタマイズしたものに変わってます。ジオメトリースプレッドシートいつでも見れるようにしたのと、あとマテリアルとアウトをタブに固定してます。はい。では、やっていきます。バージョンは 18.5 です。はい。やっていきます。
So let's start by placing a geonode. Let's call it wires. And let's dive in. Let's place a circle. Let me turn on the points so we can see the points. Polygon, okay. I want them to be on the floor. Something like that. Let's start with simple divisions, only 6. We are going to use the points, so let's dissolve to delete that face. But now I lost the points, so I think I need to turn off this. Okay, so we have the points here. I hope you can see them. Okay. So let's place a transform. Let me turn off the dissolve for now so we can see what we are doing. Let's place it on 8. Let's merge everything. So I want the bottom one and the top one. So right now we have 2 circles. Cool. So now I need to find a way to connect the points to create a spline. That is easy. So let's go to point wrangle. Let's place a point wrangle. Let's create a parameter called connect using the point number. So each point will have a parameter called connect that is a point num. Okay, so right now we can use a add node, connect by group. Okay, but instead of using all points, let's connect by attribute and use the one we just created called connect. So it is this end node is looking to the points and connecting every single point that has the same parameter. So where connect is equals to 1, it will check the points and connect them. Okay, so it is doing for each point. So right now I can turn off my dissolve, turn on my dissolve, and now I just have splines. Cool, right? Let's resample. So we will have more points during the splines because we are going to deform the spline, so it's better to have more geometry so we can get smooth animation. And let's convert this to Vellum. We can use, I don't want that, sorry, Vellum. Is there a string one? No, let's use the config error. String one, no, let's use the config error. But instead of using error, let's use strings. Okay, let's fire this in. Okay, I'm going to turn off the points now. And right now, if I put a Vellum solver, while the 3 inputs, okay, the 3 outputs to the 3 inputs. What happened? The 3 inputs, okay, the 3 outputs to the 3 inputs. What happened? Okay. So right now, if I press play, my strings will fall down with the gravity, okay? Because this Vellum solver has its own gravity. Okay, cool. That is cool. So now I need to find a way to pin my points on the bottom and on the top. There is an easy way to do that. Let's place a group. Let's call it bottom. Oops, bottom points. Okay, I want points. For the group name, let's use the node name. Okay. Node name. Okay. Right now, points. Everything is on. Every point is on the group. So let's use the bounding box, and let's increase this. Something like 4 by 0.1 by 4. Okay. So let's use this binding box to control our points. If you can see the points right now, I hope, let me try and increase this. If I increase this to 6, no. I was trying to increase the visualization of these points, but I hope you can see there are blue points, and the yellow ones, that indicates that they are on the group, on the bottom. So right now, if I change the position of this bounding box, you'll see that we will change the points, okay, the group points. So let's leave this to 0. Okay, and let's create another one called top point. In this case, let's fire this in in this case, I want the group points to be on the top, right? So we know that we have a translate. Let's copy paste. In this case, I want the group points to be on the top, right? So we know that we have a translate. Let's copy paste this parameter and paste relative reference. So I'm always using the same position as this translate. So if I change this one, you see that bounding box will follow that transform. Okay, so right now we have this point group that is called top points and this one that is called bottom points. Okay, so let's attach these two polygons. So let's place the tube. Okay, let's put the pink one so we can preview the geometry. Okay, let's make one by one, maybe 0.1 so we can have a little bit more room. On 8 we need a bigger one. Okay, and I want this to be a polygon. Let's add more geometry. Okay, I hope you can see this gray tube. If I press this, we are creating this tube. Okay, everything is cool now. Okay, so we have the bottom tube. Let's place a group. That is a primitive group. That's okay. Let's call it bottom tube. Let's use the node name. Okay. Let's place a transform. Let's use the node name. Okay. Let's place a transform. We are going to animate this tube. Okay. And let's create a tube now for the top part. Okay. So one easy way is just duplicate this. Okay, this one will be the top tube. And again, I want the translate to be the same, so let me do that again. Let's go here, copy parameter, and on translate, paste relative reference. Okay, so now we know that this tube and this binding box will always translate, copy, and again, I want to translate to be the same, so let me do that again. Let's go here, copy parameter, and on translate, paste relative reference. Okay, so now we know that this tube and this binding box will always be on the same place as the top points. Okay, everything. is alright. Let's merge these both geometries. Okay, so now we have the two tubes. Okay, and let's wire them to the collision geometry. Why we are doing that? That because we are going to use this geometry to attach our strings. So let's press tab to Vellum constraints. Okay, and here on Vellum constraints. So let's press tab to Vellum constraints. Okay, and here on constraint type we have attached to geometry. Okay, so let's wire this in. Let's call it Vellum constraints bottom. Okay, so we want not primitives, we want points. We want the bottom points and the target group. I need to wire this in. Okay, the target group. We want the bottom points and the target group. I need to wire this in. Okay, the target group.
Tube.
Will be the bottom tube, right? So we have the bottom points to the bottom tube, and let's alt drag this one to copy her. Just place another one. Vellum constraints. Her. Just place another one. Let's alt drag this one to copy. Her. Just place another one. Vellum constraints. Let's wire this into the three inputs. Again, attached to geometry. We want points. We want now the top points, and the primitives we want the top two. So right now, if I press play, you'll see that our points will be pinned to the geometry. Pretty cool. If I increase the size of our tubes, you will see that we will have those constraints. Let's check that out. So you can see that each constraints, let's just see that we will have geometry. Pretty cool. If I increase the size of our tubes, you will see that we will have those constraints. Let's check that out. So you can see that each point is constrained. This white line on the horizontal are the constraints, and if we wear these the second constraint, you'll see that we are doing the same on the top. So if I press play, you will see that these points will connect to geometry. Cool. So let's put this back to 1. Okay, it's same size as our circle. We can do that here. Let's copy parameter. Let's use the same. Can do that here. Let's copy parameter. Let's use the same. Okay. Cool. So right now, if I increase my scale size, the tubes will increase too. Okay. That is cool. Let's check the simulation again. So I'm seeing that we have a lot of stretch on our strings. So we can increase that. Let's decrease the damping ratio and increase this to 1000. Decrease that. So we can increase that. So I'm seeing that we have a lot of stretch on our strings. So we can increase that. Let's decrease the damping ratio and increase this to 1000, and we have the maximum here. The band, let's increase this a little bit.
合成か。弾力が出る。
Ratio and increase this to 1000, and we have the maximum here. The band, let's increase this a little bit. So let's see the result. Better, it's better, okay, cool. So right now let's So let's see the result. Better, it's better, okay, cool. So right now let's tangle them. Let's rotate the base 2, the bottom 2, so we have this transform. Okay, so what I want to do is just rotate this during the animation. So let's go here. I think this is the one that we want to rotate. That's cool. So we want to rotate on Y. Let's go. Let's increase this to 10 seconds. What we want to rotate the animation. So let's go here. I think this is the one that we want to rotate. That's cool. So we want to rotate on Y. Let's go. So let's go here. I think this is the one that we want to rotate. That's cool. So we want to rotate on
設定しないんかい。
Y. Let's go. Let's increase this to 10 seconds. Okay. On 120, I want this to be on 220 angles. Then for a little bit, let's go back to 180 and then go back to 1 angles. Then 220 angles. Then for a little bit, let's go back to 180 and then go back to 0. Okay, let's see the animation. Like this bottom. Okay. So we will be rotating this bottom too. Okay, and because we have attached the constraints will rotate too, and then our points will rotate, and our wires will tangle between them. So let's increase, go to circle, increase the divisions to 12, so we can have 12 wires. Okay. Of things, and let's go and check the animation. You'll see that we will get a lot of errors here. But we are upstairs, so we need to fix a way to correct these errors. Because if I come here, you'll see between some of these frames, they start to lose the tangle and the thickness. It is ignoring the thickness, and some wires are overpassing another ones. Okay, so let's try and fix this. On Vellum Solver, I know there is a way. Let's try first order. See if we get a little bit better. It is getting better, but I think I know one way to fix this, because right now we are working with wires, with strings, and its thickness is really small. So let's go here. Is really working with wires, with strings, and its thickness is really small. So let's go here. So as you can see, these blue points are the thickness, because I ticked this on to visualize the thickness. So as you can see, our strings they have really low thickness. So let's increase this a bit, something like that. Okay, something close to 1. So now will have a really nice thickness. And let's increase our substeps to 4. We'll have a really nice thickness.
ステップ上げるのか。
And let's increase our substeps to 4. And I hope this will get a better result. Because we are adding thickness, so the strings won't be that thin. And we are adding more substeps, so the process will have more subframes to calculate the intersections. Cool. Let me pause here. As you can see, now that we have thickness, the wires will keep some distance between them. Let's turn on play again. And voila. Pretty cool. This is simple. If you want one way to see this in action with some geometry, let's tag wires.
どれになるか。
Some wire, poly wire. Okay. Let's go to this one where we can see the intersections. And let's reduce this size, something like this. Cool. Let me turn off the wire shaded. This is a simple tutorial, as you can see. And if you want, we can increase the wires. So let's put something like 32. We'll have a lot of wires. Let me process everything first before visualization. Okay, taking a little bit longer because we have 4 substeps. If you're still getting some errors, try to increase the thickness or increase the substeps. From my experience with 8 substeps, I didn't get any errors, so try that. And let's see how this goes. Cool. Let's see one abstract view. Let's see like this one. Very cool. This was a fast and simple tutorial. I just want to show you one quick way to make wire animations with Vellum. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and check out our Patreon page for more content. With your support, we can keep doing these tutorials for the community. Hope you enjoyed this one and see you on the next tutorial. Have a nice day.
なるほど。この ファーストだってなんだマジでわからねえ。ステップ上げないと処理しきれないのか。長さ変えればいけんのかな。ベラも面白いな。というわけで、今日はここまでにします。はい。ご視聴ありがとうございました。